Well, 10K, how awesome. Honestly, I am stoked. I am so happy. I've wanted this for many years, and I've tried to make this work. I tried and failed and tried again. This was going to be my last go round, and I promised myself I would give it absolutely everything I had. I would pour all my energy into it, and it's working out. So I'm so grateful. You have no idea. So a bit of a background on me. I'm 38 years old. When I finished high school, I didn't study or anything like that. I started a business with a friend. It's quite funny how that all came around, actually. So we took over a cafe. It was an existing cafe that was failing. He was working there already, and it wasn't doing well. And he said the owner wanted to sell for just enough money to basically break even. And I'd said to him, let's go halves. Like, I'll go halves in it. Let's do it together. And he took me seriously. I was just joking. That's kind of my personality. I was messing around with him, but he started looking into it. His dad was an accountant, and they started looking into the papers and everything. And he's like, came back to me and he's like, actually, this used to make good money. There's good potential here. So I was like, well, fuck it, let's do it. So we took it on, and we were there 5 years, and it went really, really well. We sort of slowly built up the business over time. We learned a lot during the process, and then after 5 years, we actually sold it for like 5 times what we originally invested in it, and we've been making money along the way too. So it was a great success. Then after that, I stayed in hospitality basically. I already had management experience. I managed cafes, I managed restaurants, I managed bars, and then I ended up in hotels. And I really liked hotels because it was a bit more of a corporate structure. As I started to work my way further up in hotels, I started doing really well. I was making great money, and learning just so much, learning so many things that helped me in my life today even. So I got to a point, I think I was 34 years old, and I was like, I'm sick of this. I don't want to be living this kind of life. I didn't want to be working 5 days to have 2 days off, and then working, to have a 4-week holiday each year. I love travel. That was my number one thing I love to do. I love to travel, and I'd been traveling every year. I try and do like 2 trips every year, but I got to a point and I was like, this is not the life I would look at my bosses and the people above me, and they had great money and all these things, but I didn't want their life. I didn't want to be them. So I made a decision to quit, and I wanted to travel the world, and I just wanted to take a step down basically. I don't need money. I don't need material things. Of course, like, you need some money, but I didn't need to be aspiring to be working and just my whole life be about work. So I quit my job and I moved to South Korea. I lived there for 2.5 years, and I just did like little odd jobs there, which were fun. I was doing like acting and TV extra work and some like modeling type work. I did some social media work. I worked in a little like restaurant, like in a little pizza shop for a few months. I did just like little things to get by. I had savings obviously that I was living on, but I had some income coming in at least. So I did that for 2.5 years. And honestly, if it wasn't for the global situation, I'd probably still be there right now. I went to Australia for Christmas and then basically got stuck there. So I ended up here in Thailand, and it's been the best experience. If this didn't work out, I really didn't know what the next step was. I kind of gambled on myself for this working out, and I put all my eggs into one basket and I poured all my focus into this. I really don't know. I don't ever want to go back to a serious job or a 9-to-5 or a full-time anything. I really don't know. Something in a similar kind of thing in entertainment, I guess. I really enjoyed like the acting and extra work that I was doing in Korea. It's fun and it doesn't feel like a real job. And the benefit of that is it pays really well. So, I'd only work like 1 or 2 days a week, and then that would give me enough money to last the week. So something like that would be my ideal if I had to get a real job, I guess. So I do plan to stay in Thailand and base myself from here. I do plan to travel a lot. That'll be a big part of what I do. I want to make travel content. I love travel. This is what this channel is going to be all about. So as international travel resumes more, I do plan to jump around. I will be based here and I will live here, but I'd like to do short trips, a couple of weeks here, a couple of weeks there. I love Asia, and I love Southeast Asia. So I guess it'll just be a case of what opens up first. It'll just be in stages of what countries are opening, but that's my plan. I plan to sort of live here, and I'll go do a week here, and I'll go do a week somewhere else, and bounce back and forth, and bring that experience to you through this channel. So the long-term plan is YouTube and the things that can spin off this. There's other YouTube. This is incredibly lucrative, and you can make great money doing this. I would ideally like to get to a point where I'm not making as many videos. I know guys that just put out like 1 video a week. Some guys put out 1 video a month once you get to a really high level. I'd like to be constantly creating. I really enjoy the whole process of creating. I love making the videos. I even rewatch them myself. I'm my own biggest fan. So things that will spin off that as well. I'm actually working on something. I've been hinting it a little bit. I've been working on like a little side project. I'm starting a clothing company, which is really exciting. And it's, this is a great platform to venture into other things. I'll be wearing the clothes and I'll be promoting them all the time, and people will see them, they like them, might want to buy them. So I don't plan for that to be my main income source, but that's just like a nice little side thing that I can have. So I don't plan to do YouTube for like the rest of my life, but there are things that come from that, and featuring on travel content, featuring in other people's work and stuff like that. So there's tons of different avenues that this can lead you down. So how to make friends here is, honestly, I should be like paid by Tinder for how much I promote them. Tinder is great, and this actually ties into another question that someone asked me is like, is Tinder a good way to meet people, and do you recommend Tinder? Was a couple other questions. I think it's an awesome platform to meet people, and you can meet and just become friends. There's a lot of people on there that aren't looking for like a relationship. There's people that are looking for friends. There's people that are looking for all sorts of things on there. So I've made some of my best friends in countries all over the world from Tinder. I've met people and it started out as a date, and then now they're my good friends. Some of my best friends in Korea started out as dates, and they've now become friends, and they're the people that I miss the most. So Tinder is an awesome way. You get to understand, the people you need to filter out, but dating's like that. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go well. You just need to, I guess, kind of learn to read people, see if people have an angle, because there are people on there that have an angle, but my experience on there has been nothing but positive, and I've met amazing people through it. So Keis is a nickname I've had for a long time, and that's why I have a key on my necklace. I spell it differently. Basically, I've had that nickname since I was young. One of the first times I drank, it's a funny story. So one of the first times I drank, I was with a bunch of friends, and I was at a friend's house, and we'd all put our keys in a bowl by the door. And so throughout the night, I'm always checking to make sure I haven't lost anything or anything like that. And it's one of my first times drinking, and I obviously wasn't handling it very well. And I said like, oh, has anyone seen my keys? I can't find them. And then my mate's like, yeah, they're in the bowl over there. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Then like an hour later, I'm tapping my pockets. And I'm like, shit, I've lost my keys. And I'm asking my friend, hey, can you help me find my keys? And they're like, dude, it's in the bowl. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And then like an hour later, the same thing again. So the name Keis kind of stuck with me after that. And I like it. It's, my friends call me that back in Australia. Keys or Keisy, there's like different ways you can say it, but yeah, that's the story behind it. So this is a great question. I'm huge on individualism. I feel like everyone should be their own person. Wear what you want to wear, dress how choose your own style. So I grew up in the 90s. I was like into skating and BMX and dirt bikes and punk rock and gangster rap. So that's kind of where all this came from. I used to dye my hair when I was in high school. I thought it was cool. I looked up to like super eccentric people, I'd watch like skate videos and dirt bike videos and stuff. And these people were all like crazy and out there. And I'm like, this is cool. This is like how this person is. I want to be like that. And I guess that's sort of just naturally evolved for me. My fashion, I've always kind of had this similar style. And it's something I really enjoy. When I wear clothes that I like, I feel good, and I get this confidence. When you dress good, I feel confident just from that. So even when I worked in corporate, I used to wear suits every day, and I would dress nice. I would have nice suits and good shirt and tie combinations, or I'd match my tie with my socks, things like that. Like it's just something I enjoy, and it gives me confidence as a person. All right, well, might need my second beer for this one. This is all anyone wants to really know. Everyone just wants to know about money and visas, so I'm happy to talk about it anyway. So I don't mind being completely transparent with how much I make. There's websites that can tell you this anyway through YouTube. So basically YouTube pays me for the ads that run on the videos. Now you get somewhere around like $4 to $5 US dollars for every 1,000 views. So currently my channel gets around like 12 to 15,000 views every day. So you can kind of figure out for yourself how much I'm making. Last month was my second month being monetized, and I made 1,400 US dollars. So I set myself a goal when I came here that by the end of the year, I wanted to be making 1,000 US dollars per month. And in my second month being monetized in September, I got 1,400. So I'm stoked with that. That should continue to grow. Every day I'm getting around 100 new subscribers. So ideally new subscribers, new viewers, and that will just continue to grow. It also kind of snowballs in the fact that YouTube wants to make money, right? YouTube is ultimately a business to sell ads. So if my videos are doing well and people are watching my videos and they're watching the ads, then YouTube makes money. So if it's successful, then YouTube will push that out more And the more successful you are, the more you get pushed out, basically. So that should just continue to grow every single month. Ideally, there'll be high and low months, of course, but generally it just continues to trend up. So this month being my 3rd month monetized, I'm forecasting that I should make around like 1,700, maybe to 1,800 US dollars for this month. And I'm great at this stuff. So people, I get a lot of my audience is older than me, and they give me advice on, I even got a comment yesterday. Someone's like, oh, you need to get a real job and get serious about your life and get back to work and think about your future and your savings and stuff like that. And I'm very aware of what I'm doing, and I know how much money I need to live, and I know how much money I want to save. And, I'm great at this. I used to, when I worked in hotels, I would help write budgets for entire departments. So 38 years old, I haven't gotten to be in a position where I haven't had a real job for 5 years without being smart about money and life and all these things. So I do I know these comments come with good intentions. A lot of the time they're incredibly condescending, but they come with good intentions, so I can understand that. But I'm very aware of all this, and I'm all across it. That's why I'm working on the clothing company and things like that. And this should continue to grow and continue to make me more money, and definitely enough money for me to be able to live comfortably here in Thailand. As I get to higher views and more money, I might start to taper off with how often I'm making content. I don't want to do daily videos like for the rest of my life, but the videos I put out each day only amount to 25% of my revenue for that day. So the other 75% comes from existing videos that I have on there. Those videos are there getting views forever, and they're making money forever. So only 25% of what I make in one day is from the actual day's video. So my advice to anyone wanting to do something like this, or to travel, or just approach life differently, is do it. My attitude was always that if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to Australia and I'll go get an actual job, like a normal job, and I'll live that kind of lifestyle. But it's worked out for me. I've definitely had ups and downs. There's no shortcuts. If you want to be a YouTuber, you have to just grind out. I tried, failed, tried. Well, actually, my first channel was incredibly successful, but I did nothing with it and it died. But then I tried and I failed, but then I just put in the effort and I studied, and I spent months studying and learning everything about YouTube. There's a lot to know about posting and algorithms and just everything you need to know. It's a process, and I've put a lot of work into getting to where I am now, and I'm hoping it gets easier from here on out. But the beginning is definitely the hardest part. So there's no shortcuts. You can't go buy followers, you can't buy likes and things like that. It doesn't work. It actually kills your channel. It does the exact opposite. So there's no shortcuts. Just grind away, put in the work. I feel like if you put in the work and you produce good content, the results will come, but you need to know everything that goes along with it. And all that information is available on the internet, on YouTube. There's training programs, there's all sorts of things that you can do. I spent months, and I talked to Dan. Dan's also doing really well, and we talk to each other all day, every day about this. We're constantly back and forth. We bounce ideas off each other, we experiment with things, we exchange everything. We talk about our money, numbers, daily, every couple of hours we're sending each other updates. How are you doing? I'm doing this. Oh, did you think of doing that? It's a grind, and it's like any job, right? Any job that you get, you might start out as a trainee or an intern or as an apprentice or something like that. So you don't make money at the beginning. You have to grind to get the experience to get to where you want to be. But if you're not tied down to anything at home, get out, do it, explore, travel, have fun. Life's short. You never know what's going to happen. So make the most of every minute. Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone that likes, watch, subscribe, comment. People send me donations. People that support me on Patreon, donate to me. People that send me tips and everything. It blows me away, and I'm so grateful. I'm living my dream, and it's because of you guys. So thank you so much. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. Whoa. And I'm about to get rained on, so I'm going to finish this video up here. All right, so thank you to everyone, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Jesus, look at that.